Hello, race fans, and welcome to week 11 of the Race22.com Street Stock Series. This week we're at Stafford Motor Speedway, qualifying underway. This half-mile racetrack, the home of the SK Modified, as it's called. And tonight we're in the Street Stocks, of course, so head down to the track and see what's going on in qualifying. Adam Crozier on track on your screen. See what kind of lap he can put down. .9 for Crozier. Michael Edwards puts it on the pole with a 21.31. Got Benke out on track right now. Been strong all season. We'll see if he can put it up there in the front, as with every week. If he can, the top two qualifiers from qualifying will advance straight to the feature on the front row. The rest will have to go through a heat to determine their grid position. Benke will put it on the P3 position, so he will have to go through the heat. Lawrence out on track. First lap of 23.3. Lap 2 may not have been scored, so may have had a little bit of a wall contact. Cliff Mullins on screen. We'll see what kind of lap he can put down. Laps of 21.6 and P5. On a 4 for lap number 2. See what kind of lap he's going to put in. And a 21.57 is where he'll shake out in qualifying. That'll put him P4. So Edwards and Beach going to be the top two qualifiers right now. Scott Elston got his laps in already, so looks like everybody who's going to qualify out of the 10 drivers we have tonight will be in. So I'm not very familiar with Stafford.
All right, guys, looks like we're going to have one heat. You've got 3 extra sets of tires in the pits. It's 100 laps. Yeah, it's going to be real fun.
Yeah, good drivers meeting there. So yeah, as I was saying, not too familiar with Stafford. I actually just purchased it for the broadcast right before we went live here, so it's going to be new for me. Well, we're getting ready to go into the heat right here. We're going to have 8 drivers determining grid position, as always. And get our grid up on screen right here. So heat number 1, going to have Matt Benke on the pole, Cliff Mullins in second, Cody Brown in third, Scott Elston in fourth, Adam Crozier in fifth, Randall Lawrence in 6th. Daniel Llewellyn in 7th. And Damon Nagel in 8th. I don't know if Llewellyn's out here. I think he was running an official NIS race, so unless he may have had an incident in that, I don't think we'll see him grid up. So it should be 7 cars for the heat. Yeah, I don't think we'll see Llewellyn grid up here, so. Getting ready to start heat number 1 of 1. Not used to that. Matt Banky getting ready to get us started. And classic. You know what? We're just gonna fix it right here. Sorry about that. All right, there we go. We're good to go.
Green flag.
Green flag. Here we go. 10 laps. Determine the starting grid for the night's 100-lap event. But first, we got to do 10 laps, and Matt Banky with a good run into turn 1. Cliff Moon's going to file into second. Cody Brown sitting in 3rd spot. Scott Elston just behind him. Adam Crozier trying to make the move on that 85. Nagel and Laurent a bit of ways back, but I'm sure they can battle back up to the front. We go Cliff Mullins maybe trying to make a move on that 35. And a move for the lead. Cliff Mullins to the inside of the 35 of Banky. Side by side through 3 and 4. Coming to 7 laps to go right here. Cliff Mullins clears up to the lead. This will put him 3rd. If he can hold on to it. And Cody Brown, very loose and entering 3. Looks like he'll save it. Crozier's also having issues. He's down in the grass. Lawrence spinning in 3 and 4. Somebody must put oil down in turns 3 and 4 on that lap because everybody went around almost. But back up front. 35 of Banky's trying to make the move on the 37 once again. These two in a heated battle for the lead. Laps to go here at Stafford in our heat. With Mullins with a 1 car length gap over 2nd place. Two laps to go. See if Banky tries to use the bumper a little bit, coming to the white flag right now. A huge send to the bottom of the racetrack. That was really close. Down the front stretch to go, taking the white flag in the heat. 35, another send to the bottom of the racetrack. Contact slightly made. Really close off the corner. 37 with a good run down the backstretch. 35, another huge send to the bottom. Makes contact with a 37. The 35 goes around. And that will send him to the back of the running order. Cliff Mullins going to win heat number 1. Cody Brown in second. Elston in third. Crozier comes across fourth. And Benke gets it back rolling to finish fifth. Nagel will come across sixth. And Laurent will finish seventh. Yeah, so that is the results of our heat race. Now we'll go down through our grid for the feature event. Michael Edwards putting on the pole tonight. Absolutely phenomenal qualifying time. Andrew Beach as well. About a 10th off of Michael in qualifying. Still a blazing lap. Puts him locked into the front row. Didn't have to race in the heat. So those two locked in on time. Cliff Mullins won the heat. That puts him in third. Cody Brown finished second. He's in fourth. And beyond that, we got Scott Elston in fifth. Adam Crozier in sixth. Matt Benke, who we saw had that incident on the last corner of the heat, he'll start seventh and finish fifth. Damon Nagel in eighth, and Brianna Laurent in ninth. Running out our 9-car field tonight. As these drivers get rolling. Kind of go over what happened in the heat. So it kind of looked like to me, passing was kind of tough in terms of getting to that point. Benke, you know, he got passed by Cliff Mullins about halfway through the heat and was fighting to get back up to Cliff and was trying everything he could to get around the 37. And he tried to give a little bit of a bump to the quarter panel on the 37, and it ended up spinning him around. Guessing just kind of upset the car on the apron to track transition, and at the same time hitting another car kind of just sent the car around. And something these guys are going to have to be careful with as this race goes on. We'll just have to see. Here we go.
Green flag.
Green flag in hand. Green flag is out. 100 laps to go here at Stafford. Into turn one clean, side by side throughout the field. Side by side for the lead, Andrew Beach fighting strong on that outside. Still side by side for the lead. Andrew Beach is not going to give up. That high line seems pretty strong here. I know I said before the race started it's going to be tough to pass, but maybe that outside line is viable. Michael Edwards seems to be kind of pulling away though. He might be able to clear out of turn 4 in this corner. Just as I say that, Andrew Beach with a good run. Looks like Edwards will clear though. Single file throughout the field now. Oh, hard contact for Damon Nagel, looks like, the 86. Heavy right side damage on that 86 machine, and he's going to be slow in the backstretch. Might be bringing it to pit road. Unfortunate. Maybe end to his day. Just have to see, maybe he'll take the quick repair here, but definitely not the run he was hoping for so far. Here come the leaders out of 4. And man, they are packed up. We got 6 cars all lined up. As I mentioned at the start of the show, this is a half-mile track, so they're gonna have a lot of speed. It's the same length as Bristol Motor Speedway, Martinsville Speedway, Indianapolis Raceway Park. They're all a half mile, and those tracks are pretty high speed, especially in a street stock, compared to you know, maybe a quarter mile or a 3/8 mile. Like something like I think Southern National is a quarter mile. Looks like Cliff Mullen's trying to use that apron to turn. It's something he's known for. You can find a lot of grip down there on the bottom of the racetrack. Cliff was able to get all the way up to 2nd. Andrew Beach falling back 2 spots from the start of the race. He's now in 4th. Benke's up 4 spots from the start of the race. Biggest mover right now. Looks like, unfortunately, the 86 did park it. That was pretty heavy right side damage and did go a lap down. It's tough to come back from, considering we haven't gotten a caution yet, but do the 6 car back here. I saw some smoke in turn 1, and I think it's coming off the 6 right here, so be looking out for that. About 4 seconds in front of the leaders right now. And there's 6 cars still up in this lead pack, I'd call it. These 6 all under a blanket, evenly spaced out. I'm guessing the draft, maybe some dirty air playing a factor in this. There it is, the 6 car does go a lap down. That kind of breaks up the top 6. Cody Brown, Scott Elston trying to make their way around the 6 car, and that's going to check them up a little bit. Maybe get them out of the draft. 17, hard contact, the outside wall. I'm going to rephrase that. I wouldn't call that hard contact, but it was considerable. So Elston and Brown. Bit behind 71 now. Looks like Michael Edwards kind of pulling away from Cliff Mullins. Brown's again in the wall in the front stretch. Looking back at Mullins, Benke, and Beach. They're falling a bit off the leader at this point, coming up on a third of the way through this race, just past the corner. Edwards is now pulled out to about 2 seconds over the rest of the field. Mullins, Benke, Beach, and Elston all lined up second through fifth. Cody Brown falling off about a second and a half to those guys. And Crozier about 6 seconds behind Cody Brown. Warrant looks like has taken it down pit road. And obviously the 86 of Damon Nagel parked it earlier in the race for some wall contact. So that's where everybody stands at the moment. Edwards just pulling away. Dominant performance so far. Qualified well, running well. Oh, a bump to the 35. He goes around. Caution is out.
Not what I meant to do there.
Well, there might have been a slight bobble from the 35 there in the middle, and 71 ends up tagging the rear bumper. Let's take a look and see what happened. They are entering turn 1. And yeah, maybe just slight contact. Try to get a better view of this. Turn 1, the 71 sends it in a bit deeper. 35 maybe sent it in a little too deep. Had to check up in the center and just put a left rear contact from the 71, and there goes the 35. Everybody taking it down pit road for 4 tires. Banky takes 2 after the slide. 14 and Michael Edwards takes 2. No, he took 4. Okay, Cliff Mullins with 2 tires. Got Banky inside 2 tires. Andrew Beach 4 tires. Cody Brown 4 tires. Scott Elston 4 tires. And Crozier 4 tires. So 4 tires for every driver except for Mullins and Banky. This is going to work out for Mullins. It'll give him the lead. Looks like Banky will reassume 3rd place. I want to say that's where he was when he wrecked, so he's able to get back up there, but he is going to be on older tires.
Idea.
And that was a 45 lap run under green. So these guys that took 2 tires, I have to wonder if they are confident in this decision. I was going to get a word with Cliff Mullins, but we are about to go green, so I'm not going to do that. Here we go. So the first caution of the night, going back green. 7 cars left on the track. Green flag's back out. Cliff Mullins with an excellent start. Run through 1 and 2. The 14 and the 35 make contact. More contact. 14 gets shoved back to 4th. Andrew Beach was able to squeak by and all that, and Beach has 4 tires, so that's huge in terms of track position. We saw Beach and Edwards have pretty comparable times in qualifying. They both qualified on the front row, so for Beach to get that track position out front of Michael Edwards and be the first car on 4 tires, he's got to be feeling good about this. Cliff Mullins, speaking of feeling good, it's out to 7/10 of a second on the rest of the field on those 2 tires. Really good call right now. We'll see if they can hold on once they all get heated up. My guess is no. Typically how it works in these cars, at least, is you start off pretty even with everybody that took tires, but once the tires get heating them and they start shredding again, they just wear off way quicker and get worse way quicker than the guys with 4 tires. So look to see in about 3 or 4 laps, the 71 and the 14 start to make moves. Oh, a block from the 35 to the 71. We saw, you know, what brought out the caution was the 35 off the nose of the 71. Oh, the 14! Big loose off of turn 4. A little bit of contact with the outside wall. Car is okay, though. So Mullins and Banky still out front, 1 and 2 on those 2 tire stops. It's really surprising me that they're holding on, and we're actually sort of pulling away there for a little bit, but they're at least even at the moment. It makes me really wonder if dirty air is playing a factor in how these cars are handling. Such even spacing between all the cars. It's really tough to pass, even with new tires. So lap 59 of 100. We're working right now. Mullins and Benke still out front. I am very surprised. It was a great call to take those two tires against track position. Coming to 41 laps to go right now. And it's looking really good for him. But Beach and Edwards, those two both on 4 tires, they're starting to work their way back up to these two. And we saw in the heat race, Mullins and Benke were the battle for the lead. And Benke ended up trying the bump and run in the last corner and ended up spinning himself. So we'll see if he tries that again here. If it does come down to the wire at the end of the race, maybe he will learn from that, try a different approach. We'll have to see. But basically the gist of what I'm saying is he's had practice so far on trying to bump Mullins out of the way, and maybe with that experience he'll be more effective here at the end of the race. But as I say that, Andrew Beach to the bottom of the 35, and I'm guessing with those 4 tires it's going to be pretty easy for him to get around him. There it is. Oh, Michael Edwards around! Hard contact with the inside wall. No caution. He's way to the inside of the racetrack. He's about in the middle of the racetrack in the infield. Guessing he's going to try to get up here and stop. Hopefully bring a caution out. No, he's going to get it back rolling. So Benke and Edwards made contact. And it looks like Crozier might have had an issue since the green flag dropped as well. But the car looks okay, so maybe not too bad of an incident. He's just 2 laps down though. Might have had to take a quick repair. Edwards might be having to take a quick repair here soon. That car is looking rough, but I do want to see what happened to him. Get a replay of that really quickly. So you can see Edwards and Benke off turn 2 right here. Benke gets loose down into the 14. 14 spins to the inside wall. So Mullins, Beach, and Benke top 3. So Benke right behind that 71. Maybe thinking about some payback for earlier. I heard Andrew Beach apologize over the radio, but I did not hear a response from the 35. Could have missed it. But You know, typically in my experience, when somebody doesn't respond to your apology, they're typically very pissed. So we'll have to see. But Andrew Beach knocking on the rear bumper of that 37. Beach, of course, with those newer, I think, left side tires. Cliff Mullins only took rights. But it doesn't seem to be mattering too much right now. He's able to hold on to that lead. But it's going to be tough for him. Coming to 30 laps to go. These top three are still right there. It's just amazing to me. Edwards had this race locked up, and now due to some pit strategy and unfortunate events, he is now back in 6th with heavy damage and under threat of going a lap down. You can see the leader's about a straightaway behind. .25 laps to go. Mullins, Beach, Benke, Elston, Brown top 5. Edwards, last car in the lead lap in 6th. Crozier 2 laps down, still on track in 7th. Warren and Nagel DNFing out of this race in 8th and 9th respectively. Cliff Mullins now getting to the rear bumper of Michael Edwards. And considering Edwards pretty much, you know, he's probably going to go a lap down right here. I'm not expecting a yellow unless maybe there's harsh feelings toward the 35 for that incident. He will move to the top of the racetrack and let the 37 and the 71 go. But if he moves back down in front of the 35, I don't know, we'll have to see what happens here. Got Elston up to 4th. Cody Brown still in 5th. Yep, Edwards in 6th. He is just planting that car on the bottom. So 35. This right here is just confirming my suspicions of the dirty air concept. Now that the 14's in front of the 35, it's really hard for the 35 to stay with the leaders. He can't get around the 14. A bump to the 14. Edwards isn't moving though. Another bump. A shove. A wreck. The 14's around. Oh, he's turning into the 35. 35's around the backstretch. Yep. Saw that one coming. Those two got into it. Second caution of the night. 35 and the 14 fuming at each other. 14 obviously got wrecked by the 35. That's how he sees it in his eyes. I'm not going to take sides on that incident. But obviously he saw it that way. And when the 35 came back around, he really raced him hard. And I think once the 35 turned him around, he basically said, I'm done with it. And yep, that's where we are now. Cliff Mullins, Andrew Beach taking it down pit road. That is very surprising to me. So Scott Elston gonna stay out. I like that call.
Lucky dog, hi.
I think he made that same call back at Bristol, where he got his win here in the street stocks, and I really like it. You know, it seemed like Cliff Mullins, even with 2 tires, was able to hold on pretty well in that lead, and maybe with no tires, he might be able to do the same thing up here for Scott Elston. So, gonna start up front. When we start, Michael Edwards looks like he'll get a wave around right here. Cliff Mullins, another 2-tire stop. I'm curious which tires he took. We're gonna get a word with Scott Elston. Hey Scott, it's Lucas. Got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, it's going great. Watching a great race here. It looks like you're pulling a bit of a pit strategy here and gonna get you out in front here. You feeling pretty confident with these no tires?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I like a little bit of wear on these tires for these cars. So it worked at Bristol. Let's try it at Stafford.
Absolutely. You got your win here a few weeks ago at Bristol Motor Speedway, and obviously, like you said, you did it the same exact way, and it worked out for you last time. And I hope to see you out there in victory lane again. I'm gonna be looking forward to seeing you race these guys. Do your best to fend off Cliff, because he is.
All right, I will.
All right, good luck, man.
All right, thanks, Lucas.
All right, that was Scott Elston. Oh, I thought we were. Okay, yep. I thought we were 1 to green right there. I was trying to rush and get him back to his channel, but we had another lap. I could have asked him another question. Oopsie. Hang on, we'll get a quick word with Cliff Mullins. Hey Cliff, it's Lucas. Got me?
Yep.
All right, man. You're starting up here in second. 85 took no tires, stayed out on that stop. You took 2. I'm curious, which tires did you take?
Right sides.
So have you taken right sides on both your stops?
Yep. That's
okay.
Right now very much.
All right. Well, good luck, man.
There you go.
All right, so he did take right sides on both the stops. So his left side is probably hurting pretty badly in terms of as much as the left side can wear. But he did say the left sides aren't wearing that much, so maybe not gonna matter too much. But a really good start for Cliff on that outside lane. Elston got washed up the bottom. Oh, the 85 is a little loose. 3 wide down the backstretch. Good send from Elston. Now Beach looks like a crossover to the bottom of the racetrack. He's loose. Those cold tires not treating him very well. Looks like he took 2 tires on that stop. And now it's Banky and Mullins battling for the lead. 2 laps to go right now, taking the white flag next time. White flag in the air. The 35 right behind the 37. Mullins 37, Banky 35. Through 1 and 2 they go. Mullins with a good run down the backstretch. We'll see if the 35 makes a send into turn 3. He does, a bump to the 37. Cliff Mullins saves it off of turn 4. Cliff Mullins
Good win, Cliff.
gonna win it here at Stafford Motor Speedway. Banky gets 3rd, Beach in 3rd. Banky gets 2nd, Beach in 3rd, Cody Brown in 4th, and Scott Elston in 5th. That was a good race there at the end. Love it.
I was not paying attention. I love you. I'm so sorry.
You're all right.
Great luck.
Cliff drove a great race. Threw some pit strategy in there halfway through on that first caution and was able to get some track position on that 2-tire stop and came out here once again on his final caution and took 2 tires again, and it worked out for him. Held on to that lead and drove us straight into victory lane. Get a word with Andrew Beach, 3rd place finisher. Hey Andrew, it's Lucas. Got me?
Yes, sir.
Well, man, you drove it home 3rd tonight. Got you a podium spot. Had a great race. You were battling up there for the lead the whole night, and looked like you had great speed here. How'd you feel about your race tonight?
Honestly, that is, that was the worst setup I think I've ever driven on iRacing, and I've been on the sim for almost 5 years. There was nothing that you could do to get it to where it wasn't just snapping loose under even light braking. But other than that, I mean, it's fun running up there with Cliff. I think there on that final restart, Scott missed a shift. I'm not entirely sure, but I know he was going, and then I was trimming my toenails in his fan blade. P3's good. I think I lost 2 points to Cliff right there. Since he won his heat, he got an extra 8 bonus points, so he just got 58 points right there, and I think it's a 2-point drop per position, so makes it a 28-point gap for the playoffs, or the championship hunt there. So we'll see what happens. It should be a fun little battle to the finish here between me and Cliff. We've got 3 weeks left after this. Two asphalt and 1 dirt race. So we'll go from there. But I got to thank you for broadcasting, Side Pipes, Spit and Venom, Pontiac, Lucas. You know better than anybody, as you are the design man. We're gonna bring back Pontiac. You've made a lovely Fiero, and we're making a few monstrosities to try stuff out.
Absolutely, the return of the Aztec soon.
Oh man, the Aztec was ahead of its time. It was a great vehicle. But yeah, 3rd place is fun. It does suck. I feel like I had a 2nd or maybe even a winning car, but glad to see my teammate win. So we'll go on to wherever we're at next week, and we'll try and get another win.
All righty, man. Congrats on that third place again. Thanks for the kind words and congrats. Yeah, I already said that. I'm not having a good night.
Hey man, it's all good. I'm not either.
All right, man.
Y'all have
We'll
a
see
good
you.
one.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That was Andrew Beach. I'm all over the place. We'll bring in Matt Banky, second place finisher. Hey, Matt, it's Lucas. Got me?
I gotcha. What's going on there, Lucas?
Oh, just enjoyed that race at the end there. You and Cliff had a heck of a battle to the checkered flag and got yourself a second place finish here tonight and drove a great race. How'd you feel about your speed, first of all, and how's it feel to get second place and maybe were you sitting in points?
If I would have just hit Cliff just a little bit harder, I probably would have had the W. But yeah, the car was amazingly fast. I holding on this controller here, it's not the easiest thing when the car is super loose. So I'm very glad. I'm very happy with how the second place finish.
Absolutely. I'm always surprised to hear that you're running a controller. You run so well in this series and battling up there with Cliff. He's a great short track driver and he's on a steering wheel, so that's a lot to contend with. So you were, like you said, you gave that bumper to him pretty hard and almost had it there at the end.
Yeah, actually, with this whole controller thing, and actually in a few weeks, me and Bree will be switching over to wheels that we just bought on Wednesday. So.
Oh boy.
It'll be a learning curve for the both of us.
Absolutely. I started out on controller as well, so I feel you. But it seems to come quick. Somehow it transfers pretty well, so I think you might get the hang of it.
That's good to know.
All righty, man. Well, congrats on your second place. Got any sponsors or shout outs?
You have to hit the ball.
I want to shout out Bree. She tries really hard at doing this. I know she didn't make the whole race, but I'm glad she comes to join me every week. So.
All right. Well, guess we'll see you next week. I do want to ask you real quick before we get out of here. We do have Martinsville next week. Don't know if you're too familiar with it or have raced on it in these cars, but how are you feeling about Martinsville?
Well, the last time I was at Martinsville, I believe you're the one that shoved me out of the way to move it on to the playoffs in season 1. So.
Oh man, I don't remember that.
What happens.
I'm sorry.
You know what? I was the one cheering you on from there, so.
Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate that. Thanks for joining us.
Return the favor here.
Absolutely. Well, good luck next week. We'll see you there.
Yep. Thank you.
Alrighty, that was Matt Banky, and we'll bring in our winner tonight, Cliff Mullen. Cliff Mullen's getting the dub on that last 3-lap stretch there. Cliff, what's going on?
What's up, bud?
Nothing much, man. We've been talking to you a lot lately. Got yourself a dub tonight here at Stafford, and you drove your tail off to get up there.
Yeah, two-tire king, man. I'm telling you. The two-tire strategy worked. Kind of knew Michael was going to be super fast, and I was just hoping like hell that he was going to burn his stuff up. It was just kind of riding it out there, and then when they got that caution, took 2 tires in order to get control of the race, and it kind of worked out for us. We kind of bunched those guys up a little bit and got them beating them banging a little bit, and kind of helped me to get a little bit of breathing room there. Andrew was all over me for most of the race. Matt was on me as well, but I kind of felt like once I got Mike behind those guys, I was like, all right, cool. I think we might be okay here. And man, we got that caution right there at the end. I was like, well, I know I can't give up the track position. I got to keep control of the race. And damn if Scott don't stay out with no tires. And I was like, oh boy, starting on the outside, I felt like I could probably clear him off of 2 with right side tires. Just knowing how loose these things are, and that was the only thing I was worried about was whether or not I was wearing my left sides too much in order to not loosen it up so much because everybody knows I hate a loose car.
Yeah, I was hearing from Andrew. He was talking about it was probably the worst race car he's ever driven. It was so loose on entry. I don't know if you felt the same thing.
It was in practice, especially. I think it's just honestly, I think it's just technique for this track. It's really weird. It's a really weird track to run. I have a really weird line that I run here. I was trying to tell Daniel it earlier. I was like, paint the line in 3 and 4 and use the apron coming off of 2. And Andrew, he was constantly just saying, I don't know how in the hell you do that down there. And I was like, man, I've raced a lot of modified races here, and that's kind of the line that I run with the modified here. So that's kind of what was helping me out. And I felt like it wasn't burning up the left sides too much, so um, it kind of helped to keep it even right there, and I could kind of push it when I needed to, and kind of kick the ass in that a little bit just to keep it even on the right sides. That last run, before the last caution right there, my right front was actually wearing more than the right rear, which is something that hadn't happened the entire day.
Yeah, maybe the track temp coming down. It did run a little long. 20-second lap times here, a little bit longer than we're used to, and such long green flag runs. I was worried about you on those two tires, but you held on strong, and I was really surprised. But you think if Edwards may have not had that issue, it would have been a little bit tougher to hold on to that lead?
Probably so, because I know he took 4, and I knew that if I knew that on a longer run he'd probably have me there. But honestly, when I put the 2 tires on, it made it drive better. It wasn't nearly as twitchy going into the corners, or being able to run the line that I run, hitting that apron down there. I was actually starting to straddle the apron right there in 3 and 4, and that was working really good too. So, um, yeah, once I got out front, man, I was just trying to control the pack behind me, and kind of keep them at bay, but not really burn my stuff up. It was one of those weird races, man.
Yeah, it definitely was weird. I'm used to, we go about 30 laps and a caution comes out in this series, and that was not like that tonight.
No, absolutely not.
Bet that last caution there scared you a little bit. You had it locked up pretty much, and there they
Yeah,
go.
I was starting to open up a little bit of a gap there. I was like, all right, I think I got this thing, and then caution come out. I said, man, I don't know if I should pit here or not, and I was kind of hoping that Andrew's going to do the same thing that I did. Hit me and him battling this thing out for the championship. I gained a little bit on him today. Probably not too much, but probably a little bit, and every little bit helps right now because it's getting down to the last little bit here, and he's got a little bit of a cushion on me, so I need a little bit of help to try and get up there and get around him.
Absolutely. Well, you're going to Martinsville next week, your hometown track. How you feel about that?
I'm stoked about it, but it's been a while since I run a street stocks there. Not entirely sure what the tires are going to do. I kind of feel like the 2 tire strap might work there too. Um, but Martinsville's it's a pretty straightforward track. It's gonna be a lot of beating and banging there. It was a little bit here, but at least the hits here, I was expecting them and knew when they were coming. Martinsville's a little bit different. You can just send that thing in there, and you'll get cleaned out of nowhere.
Yeah, the old paper clip gonna be a little rough to people.
Yeah, it's my favorite place, man.
All right. Well, you got anybody to thank for the win tonight?
Yeah, I got to thank Race 22, obviously, for putting this thing on, being on the car. Pinnacle Trailer Sales, my brother's company that he's running up there in Rustburg, Virginia. Midnight Performance, my buddy Eric. All the racing parts, tires, everything that he does over there. Black Tide Gallows, M9 Performance. Hey, I actually got them a win. So, Low
There
Drag
you go.
Esports, obviously. Chance 2 Extreme Motorsports, all my teammates. Battling it out with Andrew, and man, it's hard to battle your teammate, but at the same time, it's probably my favorite person to race with in these cars. And I know he races me fairly clean, and I race him fairly clean. And when I make him mad, I know when it's coming back at least. So I know when he gets quiet, then that means he's really trying. Um, yeah, Low Time Motors, because Andrew builds great motors for these things, and AC Racing Graphics for with Adam keeping this thing looking good. And Spit and Venom podcast, we'll do one here at some point. I don't know. Kind of under the weather with the allergies and everything now, so my voice kind of sounds like shit right now. So I don't really want to do it tonight, but probably in the next couple of days we'll get another one going. And of course, my number one fan, Jaron, love you, buddy. I'll see you tomorrow.
Absolutely, man. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. Congrats on the win. We'll see you next week.
Yep, appreciate it, Lucas.
Yeah, it was Cliff Mullins in the 37 getting the dub tonight. Don't know how many wins that is from this season. I can't recall. Fortunately, we'll check really quick just because I'm curious. I know it's not his first win for sure. I think that's win number 4. If I'm looking at this right. No, maybe not. Okay, I think that's win number 3 for Cliff. Yeah, so that's his 3rd win of the season. I think the most wins out of anybody. So he's putting on a good performance here in the Street Stocks this season. Definitely a championship favorite, but he did miss that race to Andrew Beach. He's had a few bad runs, so he's at a 28-point deficit. Like Andrew said in his interview. But results up on screen for tonight. Cliff Mullins the winner, Matt Benke in 2nd. Saw them battle to the line. Andrew Beach will take it home 3rd. Cody Brown in 4th. Scott Elston in 5th. Michael Edwards in 6th after that incident involving him in the 35. Adam Crozier, unfortunately, 2 laps down, had that incident. I did not catch what it was, but I think he had to take a quick repair at some point when those 2 laps down under green. Was unable to recover. Laurent, Nagel, and Llewellyn. Llewellyn did not start. Scratch that. Ignore his name. Laurent and Nagel, DNF, unfortunately. Those 2 having incidents early on in the race. And that will do our results. 9 cars finishing the race tonight. And that's going to do it for me here. I'm Lucas Hoitzma. Thanks for joining us tonight. Make sure to catch the Modifieds on Tuesday night and the Street Stocks next Sunday until the Sidewinder season is over. If you want to get in on the Sidewinder action, go to and click on the links in the description. Check out race22.com, dgsracing.com, and the Sidewinder Racing League's Discord. And yeah, check out all of our other live streams here on the channel. We got a lot of great races up now. We got a big portfolio of awesome racing done, and love everybody to check it out. But yep, that's gonna do it for me tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.